Full Metal here, and today we are diving into the Season 3 Foundation finale. Lots of things have happened here. We got crazy reveals with the Mule, with Empire, with Foundation. Let's dive into it. First thing in the title sequence is the Novacula, and I just love the attention to detail here. You can see with all the ink, the ships of Empire as they slowly kind of dissolve into the darkness that is coming. Another really nice touch of the intro sequence is that they align the ships coming in to the beat of the music, and I just really love that effect. So the finale opens up with Brother Dusk preparing for his ascension to Brother Darkness. You can see he's kind of lingering throughout the palace, getting ready for his robe fitting, and there's a particular shot here where he's kind of standing in the palace, and it kind of, I really love just the positioning angle of this shot. It feels like all of the focus of the entire Empire is literally on him, funneled down into that one moment in time, into that one man, all on him, Cleon the Consequential. We then cut to a shot of Brother Day returning to the palace with the robot head, and it's almost like a prodigal son returns kind of scene, where he's just coming in with the robot head as almost a gift to Demerzel. And we get this really kind of sad scene where Day is lying in Demerzel's lap, and his head is just kind of lying there, and you could tell just both of these beings, both of these souls are just like so tired and so exhausted to just even be existing and continuing to do all of this. But they have to keep doing it, and that's kind of their curse, but also their existence. And it's just a really powerful and really, really sad kind of scene when you think about it. So after that, we cut to Gaal preparing for her fight with the Mule, and she preps with Harry to go up, and they start doing this Mentalics sort of hologram hallucination Mentalic shenanigans to get in and start the attack on the Mule's base. We then cut back to Brother Day and Demerzel, where Brother Day convinces Demerzel to show him how to activate the other robot, but then literally as that's happening, Demerzel gets overwhelmed with her programming and literally can't complete all of the tasks because Brother Dusk has started to do some pretty dark things on his ascent to darkness over in the palace at the Cleon cloning base. So then we cut over to Gaal trying to infiltrate the Mule's base, and she gets in there and they all start fighting, and the Mule gets a gun to her head, and he's all like, all right, now it's over. I'm about to defeat you, Gaal. And then she's all like, boom, no, I'm actually in your head. And then she ends up going and slitting his throat so that he can't end up killing her. But then after you think it's all settled and done, boom, big reveal, that wasn't even the Mule. The real Mule is Beta the whole time. Oh my God, nobody even knew. So then that's revealed, and then that's crazy. Then Gaal and Beta Mule are struggling for control, and then it's revealed in this sequence that the actual Mule was actually Beta the whole time. And then, I don't know, it gets kind of confusing here. My theory is then that the fake Mule boy is actually the baby, because that's how the Mule, that's why he has like the powers, the same powers as her, but maybe not as powerful as her, because she was the first Mule. And so she was actually the Mule the whole time, not the boy. So then she was just using him as a puppet. And then that's probably her brother. And then she was like puppeteering the whole thing from behind the scenes the whole time. I'm not really sure. It cuts to this scene where it like replays stuff earlier in the season where it was the Mule, but it's actually Beta. So I'm not really sure. My theory here is that the fake Mule is the sister she's the sister and he's the brother. That's my theory. There's actually 2 times I want to call out where this was foreshadowed in the previous episode when Gaal is going and doing like the prep for her mission against the Mule, and she tries to go into the magician entertainer's brain or whatever. And he then ends up saying a line there about how Beta and how all he feels there is love, and he like it's kind of foreshadowed that Beta is the actual Mule, but before Gaal can actually get in, then she's blocked out by the metallic foffery.
I love Beta. I've never...
And then there's also the foreshadowing from the episode before when they pick up baby Dawn, baby Empire, and Mule's like kind of the fake Mule, which at the time you think is the real Mule, is like kind of interrogating him. Then you could see that Beta like tells him to back off. And at that time, I thought they were just kind of introducing that Beta was going to be the Mule's foil. But yeah, it actually turns out that Beta was the Mule the whole time. So I did not see that coming.
I think you should leave now.
So then Gaal basically scoots out of there. She somehow meddles with the instrument. I don't know. That plot device really isn't explained. So then we cut back over to Empire, who Brother Dusk on his ascension to darkness has this crazy master plan where he ends up having disposed of gruesomely all of the other Cleon bodies. Now it's just him and Demerzel with the little baby Dawn, and Day is in the background. And his plan is to basically put the little baby in the device that's going to make him neuralize him or whatever into darkness. So he's going to do it to Dawn, and he knows that that's going to compel Demerzel to have to protect Empire. So his plan is to do that to make Demerzel go into the beam so that that defeats Demerzel so that he doesn't have to actually be killed, and that he then gets control over everything in this like super Empire from Star Wars, Palpatine, Death Star, evil master plan. And it is so sad to see Demerzel this moment, because Day has the other robot head and he can free her, but in that moment she's compelled by all of the different million things going on in her programming, and she has to try to save baby Dawn Empire. And you see this terrible sequence where both she tries to protect the baby and just the future of all of humanity and everything ends up being evaporated over this old Brother Darkness now evil plot. And yeah, it's just really all goes to hell. Now pay attention to the last scene as Demerzel ends up trying to save baby Dawn. She actually ends up flashing. You could see it in the eye on the skull here. And some sleuths on Reddit ended up decoding that this is actually Morse code for transferred. So this is actually, I think, the nod that the show writers put in that Demerzel will be back. She probably transferred then into the extra skull that Day brought. And I think this ends up being confirmed. Then I'm thinking at the end scene where you end up seeing Kale and the Prime Radiant, and they end up getting uplinks from somewhere on Trantor. And then that must be the freed Demerzel Daniil, who hopefully will set up things. And it looks like Apple TV has renewed Foundation for season 4. So there's definitely more to come. So what we're left at the end is this sort of Empire is left in, I guess, Brother Darkness's hands now. Brother Day is dead, having been killed by Brother Darkness at the end of it. There is still Dawn Empire. He's chilling with the Mule. So you have the fake beta Mule situation still going on there. So it looks like we're primed for a season 4 where you still have Dark Empire. You still have this other Mule, Gaal, still in the mix. And hopefully we can still get robot Demerzel Daniil Savior back in the mix. She seems to be hopefully transferred. So yeah, super satisfied with the finale. It was a super exciting show. Folks, everybody that saw, let me know what your theories are. Do you think that the brother and sister theory for Beta with the Mule is real? Do you think that the Mule is still alive, the fake Mule? And you technically, Gaal saw a vision of the future that's still yet to come. So is there going to be some sort of nanite business where they bring him back to life? Or was that vision that Gaal saw of the Mule actually Beta Mule? We don't know. Tons to go with, tons to happen in this series. It's definitely been renewed for a season 4. So comment below what everybody's theories are, what folks liked about the episodes, what you didn't like. Any kind of like or comment is really helpful for the channel. Yeah, and if you like this kind of content, this is our first sort of video review. Hopefully we'll be doing more of this as we get into more sci-fi and video game content. But yeah, stick around to the channel for this. All things video game, packs, and sci-fi here at the Full Metal channel. Thanks.